5 out of 4 people are bad at statistics. My name's Victor Ashley, and I'm a real estate agent out of Seattle, Washington. This is how you get a hold of me. Also, leave a comment below. The snarkier the better. And while you're at it, you can hit subscribe because I cover a lot of different areas, topics, and concepts that might be important to you. And it could also be your next neighborhood or your friend's neighborhood. So feel free to share. I just wanted to go into one of these, and it was kind of interesting because I asked a very simple question online on my LinkedIn groups. What's your take on the real estate market in your area? And it was kind of funny because they were all completely different, and I wanted to get into some of the results because I had roughly 7,000 people take a look at it. But of the 7,000 people take a look at it, we only had 200 people give their input, and I wanted to go over it today. So again, this is not a pitch to join me on my LinkedIn. But at the same time, you can find me on LinkedIn right here. And if that's me. If you have any questions, you can just get a hold of me right there, or you can just drop a note right here. Thank you. So the first one I want to go into is the U.S. mortgage group that I ran this in. So this is a group of, mostly people that are related to, mortgages or the adjacent like me in the real estate side. And it was kind of interesting because I asked the simple question, what's your take on the real estate market look like? And this is more of a local thing too, because, real estate's local. This could be Pensacola, Florida. This could be Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. This could be Norfolk, Virginia. We don't know. But we really don't know where these people are when they're doing this vote. But it was kind of interesting because I came up with 33 votes. And of the 33, 8 of them thought that we are in a seller's favored market. And then 7 of them, so a very close split, think that we are in a buyer's favored market. Now, there was also 6 people that thought that we were in a more neutral market. And then it was kind of very cynical, but actually more than a third of the people that voted, so about 10 people voted that we are in a banking and institution favored market. So, more industrial money. It could be, banks themselves. But it was kind of interesting because I thought it was an interesting point that, the mortgage people thought that we were more favored to the mortgage people. And then I ran this also on my personal page, and I wanted to just give you some of the results on that because we had about 1,800 people look at it on the mortgage page, and then on my personal page I had about 376 people actually look at it, but I only had 8 votes that came in. I was the only one that voted for a buyer's market because I'm in the Seattle area and I do feel it's a buyer's market. But there was 2 other people that said it was a seller, another 2 that said that it was a neutral. And then the remaining, so 4 more were 3 more were a bank or institutional favored. Now to the big one. And this one was kind of interesting because I had about 5,200 people look at this one, and I kind of blew up overnight because of this. But just a special thanks to Bill Gasson on this one. He runs this group, and it's a pretty tight group. It's really hard to actually get, be able to post things a lot because it's considered promotion. But he let me run this one, so I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. So thank you. But this is a group of about 110,000 people across the United States. 5,200 people saw this, and then there was 154 votes total. So I asked them the same 4 questions. And what I came up with, it was buyers favored was on the lowest, on the second lowest end. And again, I voted buyers favored, and it was 18% return. The highest one was actually sellers favored, and that's kind of interesting because I thought that was, just a little bit higher than usual because the other 2 were more on the institutional side. Neutral came in at 27%, so roughly a quarter of the actual results. And then bankings and institutions still came in at 14%. So institutional money is something that we're concerned about because, REITs, or that's called a real estate investment trust, that's called a REIT. There are a lot of the big movers that are buying up large swatches of land, especially when you're looking at that, and then you have Open Door and Redfin. So it's kind of interesting because I ran these, and I just wanted to say, hey, thank you for your input on this. But I ran these, and I wanted to get an idea of what actually people thought about this. And then while we're at it, I wanted to cover something that came out a couple of days ago. And this is the mortgage applications have actually decreased by almost 9% again from last week. It was kind of interesting because the last couple of weeks I've been seeing mortgage applications are surging. Mortgage applications are rushing back in. And I keep on looking at the numbers in this specific thing. And this is from the Mortgage Bankers Association. This is a weekly survey of all the lending criteria and the lending persons that are involved and institutions. So it's kind of interesting that, they're reporting that the last 4 weeks we've been seeing reports that we are getting more and more applications coming back in to the market. But it's kind of interesting because we just gave up 4 weeks of gain in 1 week. So, the last couple of weeks we've been having like 2%, 2%, 2%, and now we're down 9%. So we're at a negative at this point. It's kind of interesting because I wanted to get into something from my textbook. And the textbook definition of a real estate cycle is it's all the cycle themselves have to obey the law of supply and demand. And that's right here in black and white. So if you have questions on that, you can get a hold of me or you can get a hold of any professional. But, it's kind of interesting because when we're in this, we don't know exactly if we are in a buyer's market or a seller's market because this conversation's been going back. And I pulled up this article right now. This article's been going back to at least June of last year when the interest rates have changed. And remember, the big difference between them is, it depends on your supply and it also depends on your demand. Right now, we are in a cycle that the demand is starting to decrease because of the cost of money is so high. That is affecting our demand side of things, but at the same time, the supply side is actually low too. So we're in a really unique and different market right now. The reason why I cover these things is because it's really important to stay on top of the market and know exactly what's going on in this area. If you want, you could reach out to me directly and I can help you out in your local area, or I can direct you to somebody that I know and trust. And as always, it was a pleasure working with you today, and I hope you have a fantastic day.